Hey, welcome, Mountaineer fans, to this episode of Mountaineer Legends pregame. You got Big Joe's co-hosting with my man on the screen, Randy Cotto, coming to you live from the Trilogy Innovation Studios right there in Morgantown. Of course, I'm down here in Southwest Florida hanging out, and we're getting ready to talk Mountaineer football, buddy. Let me tell you something real quick. Hey, ain't it nice to tape after a nice big win? Huh?
Oh, when was the last time we spanked somebody like that?
Oh, it's been a minute. And I don't care who, anybody could say, it's just Robert Morris. Nah, it's a football team. It's a Division I football team, and we did what we were supposed to do. And man, what a great feeling it is to be 1-0 right now. And we're going to dive in, obviously, to the meat and potatoes of this thing. And we're going to chat a little bit. We got some guests going to join us this morning and talk Mountaineer football. And just, hey, man, we don't go by script. We just let this thing roll. And it's fun because you just never know which corner we're going to go around. And we're just going to talk Mountaineer football, baby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Huh?
From a player's perspective.
from a player's perspective, us what we call in our minds Mountaineer legends.
You guys are legends, I'm telling you.
I appreciate that. Well, listen, Absolutely. Hey, before we get jumping, man, we got to thank a few folks. First of all, our intro music. All right. Our boys, Amos Steele and Company, the band from down there near Charleston. They're friends of ours. Matter of fact, you have a relative that's actually in the band, right, Randy?
Yeah. It's my business partner, Jason Ranson. It's his cousin.
It's his cousin.
Is actually in the band, which is awesome.
It's fan.
Yeah,
oh,
hey, family for sure.
Of course, you know me, man. I like heavy stuff. I like good Southern rock, and these guys punch it. And they sing our intro called "West by God." You got to listen to it. Go online, check them out. They're fun to listen to. And of course, our folks at Little General right here, LG Little General stores right there. Greg Darby and his teams all across the state of West Virginia, supporting the communities. Providing convenience, fuel, food, whatever you need for your West Virginia tailgate, but so much more. What they do serving the communities, man, they've got scholarship programs for local schools. They're heavily involved with WVU Children's Hospital. They're extreme supporters of Mountaineer athletics. These folks just really dive into their communities and give back. And we appreciate them making this happen. Mountaineer Legends pregame being a part of that. They're a big part of the Joe's Nose Kids, what we do with Children's Hospital in the summertime with the events, for Children's Hospital, raising money and awareness. LG rocks, support them, and they support us.
Before you hit the hiking trails with your crew, make a quick stop at your local Little General convenience store. We've got the snacks, drinks, and gas to keep you going. Because every great hike starts with a little planning and a lot of snacks. We're proud to be part of your journey, rooted in West Virginia and built for the road ahead. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
And it's a wonderful partnership, and we appreciate them. Greg Darby's a great dude, man. He's just people just love working for him. You got people that work for him for 20 and 30 years, and that says something. They've been around. They're celebrating. Matter of fact, there's a good deal going on right now. You can register and do some things. Go online, check them out. But it's their 50th year. They're celebrating 50th year in business. So they're giving back again, and they're giving dollar signs this time. So go on there and register it up, and like I said, support Little General Stores because they support us, and they're just really good people. And of course, my man Randy right here, co-host of the Mountaineer Legends pregame, but more importantly, providing us Trilogy Innovation Studios, and of course, Trilogy Innovation's cutting edge cyber technology. Involved all over in Homeland Security and working big things. That's so incredible right there. But what you do, you're innovators, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've been the fastest growing IT company in West Virginia in the last 3 years. We also give a lot to the Children's Hospital every
Absolutely.
year. We do
Yes, sir.
the gala. We give to all the colleges. West Virginia Wesleyan, we're helping them with
Yep.
their cybersecurity program.
I heard that.
We did a lab for WVU because we're trying to keep the money here in the state and make
Amen.
sure that we're providing opportunities for these kids to stay here and to flourish. You know, a lot of these kids graduate from WVU and like 80% of them leave. I'm like, don't go. We have all this great talent. Let's keep it here. Let's do what we can, create these initiatives, whether it's through these scholarships or other things. But our goal is to protect West Virginia culture, because we love the people of the state.
That's beautiful. Well, I mean, you're from the state. You and your partner are both WVU grads. So it like you said, it's a lifeblood. And you know what you just said right there about keeping the best here.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic when you think about building a football program.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
He got rid of like 70 something guys and we rebuilt the team. Now the objective is to create the culture and the environment to keep the best of the best here in Morgantown and provide us that same opportunity to be the best, to be the cutting edge, to be the innovator. More importantly, man, let's get a Big 12 championship here in Morgantown. Huh?
What the heck?
Oh, man. Hey, but we appreciate all the sponsors, you guys supporting us and making this all happen, because, not only are we, a weekly installment episode, if you will, we also take it on the road. Mountaineer Legends pregame comes to your watch party. We got them scheduled. We're going to be in Morgantown, obviously, for the Pitt game. And then that'll be at Thursday. We're going to get into that a little bit. And then we're going to be down in Myrtle Beach. So we take the show on the road, so to speak. And we come on your watch party and hang out. And it's just a really good time with a bunch of great dudes. And of course, we're the ones that, this program now is standing on the shoulders that came before it. And we're all part of the fabric of Mountaineer football. And when you get the old guys excited about it, when you get us behind it, then, you got something really special. And I'll tell you, watching a little bit, right? It's worth getting behind. It's worth getting behind. I saw, of course I had to watch it from down here and I had to, I couldn't get it. I had to stream it. What is it on that? ESPN Plus. So I went on there and, spent an hour messing with my phone trying to, but I got it.
You should have called me. I'm your tech guy, brother.
I know, man. I know. But I got the game and it was just fun to watch. I think the best part of it for me, though, was the beginning and the end. The game itself was wonderful, but to see the goal, to see the fans, to see that beautiful blue sky, to see the environment, and then to see Rich come out of that gate with his team. I got goosebumps all over me right now. Yeah. But to see the look in his face and the look in his eyes, I'd have liked to have just been in his brain in that moment, that surreal moment of that. I mean, just to, there it is. And here we go. Everybody's calling it Rich Rod 2.0, which I think is a great thing. But, I said a long time ago, man, that second chance and that redemption factor, that motivates me. And I know it's motivating him to take this thing that we call Mountaineer football. But more importantly, it's the brand, it's the WV that we all sport, and taking that to the level in which we all know we can be in that level. We can be a top 20 football team, and we're going to get there. I really believe that. I think it's an exciting time.
Back to being the beast of the East, right? Remember that?
Back to being the beast of the East. You bet your ass. That's what we want, man. And that's what us old guys, when we say Mountaineer football, it means something. It means something. It's got a bite to it. Right. And to see that come back. And then I said, to see the ending, the scoreboard, we kicked our ass. We did what we were supposed to do. We got it together in the second half. We did what we needed to do to them. We were supposed to do that. Okay, so now fast forward to that moment when Country Roads is being sung. and that camera guy got on Rich's face, and I saw his eyes, and I saw tears and well up, and he was turning and looking and just taking that in. Again, I'd love to have been in his brain at that moment, to get that big win, that first win, back in the groove a little bit, so to speak, back home. All that coming together, man. That's really special.
And he became the second most winningest coach behind your boy Don Nealon. So
wait. I think he's tied. Did that
he's
win
tied
tie
with
him?
Dana. He's tied with Dana, but he's still in that second spot.
Yeah.
And then that's going to get passed. This week.
That's going to get passed this week. That's going to get passed this week. And I mean, hey, we're going to talk about it. Ain't going to be no cakewalk
with this spread. I don't know.
Hey, you know what?
Hey,
that's because there's so many unknowns. There's so many unknowns. And with that, if you don't mind, before these guys jump on here, share with the fans here. You're a Mountaineer fan. You're a Mountaineer supporter. You love it. You go tailgating. You were there in the blue lot setting up at 6 a.m. working and getting ready to go for this big thing, and all of a sudden, you got thrown a little curveball yourself.
Yeah. So I actually got there at 6:30 a.m. and I was just having some like back problems and stuff. But I'm lugging around these big tents and everything, and just trying to get everything loaded up. So I thought maybe I tweaked my back, and the pain wasn't going away. So I snuck out of there and went over to urgent care, and they took some chest x-rays, and they're like, yeah, maybe you tweaked your back, and gave me a muscle relaxer. And they said, if it gets worse, go to the ER. After almost 4 hours of waiting for that to give me some kind of relief, I was like, nothing. No relief at all. I actually ended up back in the blue lot at 6:30 p.m. To go to the ER. And, I was having a hard time breathing. Every time I breathed, it was hurting. If I breathed in through my nose, my shoulder was hurting. It was just this weird thing. And I didn't do anything that I was aware of. But luckily, when I got there, my neighbor was there. He was the ER doctor on staff that night, and they retook chest x-rays, and he noticed a little something in that x-ray. Ended up ordering a CT scan, and turns out I had pneumonia in my right lung.
Holy crap. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, isn't that crazy? So I ended up they gave me IV full of steroids and antibiotics, and I got out of there a little bit past midnight, but
so they caught it. I mean,
yeah, the good thing they caught it.
That ain't no joke, man. People
I actually had to watch. I watched the kickoff in urgent care on my phone, so I could watch it. And they came in, they're like, "Oh, I'm just watching the game. It's no big deal." So
you're a diehard, man. You're a diehard. That really puts things into perspective. You're setting up for a tailgate. You're all excited about the game. And then all of a sudden it's like, something ain't right. Now, and of course, how the brain is. You're thinking all kinds of crazy stuff, especially chest pain. I'm thinking, here we go.
The heart,
and, man, oh man. So hey, God, I'm thank God you're in good shape, and you listen to the warning signs. I mean, that's a lesson right there in and of itself. I mean, when you got something going on, your body's telling you, hey man, something ain't right. And the longer you wait, well, it'll go away. If it ain't going away, you better go get checked. Because something ain't right. Something ain't lined up.
Right.
And it's like, you watch these football players, they wear a ring. They wear a ring.
Aurora.
That Aurora ring.
They have to wear them on his finger.
And what does it do? It provides like some plethora amount of information about
your vitals, your sleep schedule, all kinds of stuff.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's an amazing piece of technology. But what are they doing? They're monitoring a high-level athlete that's putting their body through a lot of turmoil and a lot of shock and a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of stress. and you got to monitor that. You know what I'm saying? And
well, it's funny you say that, because during the game, I'm getting texts from people saying, you know, how much conditioning are these guys doing? Because they ran nonstop, right? They're up there, fire off the ball. We'll go back, get lined up, spot the ball, boom, again. And then, I mean, I can't tell you how many texts I just got from people that was exhausted just watching these guys. And I said, I told you guys, these guys are conditioned. Like, they have worked these guys and they are ready to go. I mean, Rich Rod has turned them into a machine, and he is getting that hard edge. So for them, they're doing what everybody else isn't doing, right? If you want to be somebody, you got to do more than everybody else.
That's you got to outwork your opponent. If you recall, I distinctly remember a press conference back in the beginning of the year before we ever took a snap, and the one thing that Rich emphasized and reiterated over and over again was the fact that as a Mountaineer fan sitting in the stands, win, lose, or draw, you will see the evidence. You will see a football team that's going to give you great effort, no matter what, great effort. Now, there was a couple of times where the effort was not quite where it needed to be. A great example is that one fumble that went on the ground that kind of laid there for a second. You know, if you got guys hustling and getting to the football, you know, you got an opportunity to maybe get that thing back, and it's not a turnover, it's just a bad play. But you know, other than that little tidbit every now and then, I saw guys flying around, like you said, running, and if you're on the field, dude, but see, that's what they do in practice.
Yes, exactly.
I told you that, 2 weeks ago. You know, when you see it in practice, and then you take that practice tempo and that attitude into the game. You know, we used to always say in the Coach Nealon era, you want the game to be fun. You want the game to be easier than practice. Right. I'm gonna crank it and I'm gonna bust your tail in practice so that when we get to the game, we could just go and have fun and let it all out and play the game and have confidence in the way we prepared. Yeah. Right. You play as you practice. If you prepare properly, then when you get into the game, you know, you get in there and you start doing what you're supposed to do. And it was muscle
just memory.
Heck yeah. And that's what we see that there's evidence of it. You know, like you said, that hard edge, you know, preseason was no longer, you know, barbecues and pool parties. It was running stadium hills and getting ready for a football season the way it's supposed to, developing a hard edge. You can't develop a hard edge unless you beat the hell out of that blade and there's a process. You know, that blade just doesn't get sharp. You buy it and pull it out of the box. It's got a blade on it. I get it.
Right.
But to go back and realize what it took to get to that edge, and then most importantly, how do you maintain it?
That's right.
You got to maintain the edge. So you got to constantly be going back, honing that blade. Constantly grinding, right? And that metaphor really fits this whole thing right here because, you know, hey, Mountaineer football is Mountaineer football. And it requires a hard edge because, and we've said it often, you know, we're a blue collar community. We're a blue collar state. You know, we're a state that, you know, spends a lot of time underground mining coal and doing all the hard labor stuff that we do. But we're such a great people, and we totally get it. We totally understand what Mountaineer football is. And, you know, hey, the edge that we're building, you don't develop a callus overnight.
Yeah, right. Okay? Exactly.
A callus requires, again, the work.
The grind,
and speaking of work, there ain't nobody that worked harder than the guy that just joined the screen wearing the gold. Hey, we had to sport the gold because this past week was Gold Rush and great things happened. So I see Big Mike Fox. Big Mike Fox came in. He was a freshman my senior year. And then, of course, had a great career at West Virginia, got to play with the national championship football team, the 88 team with Major. and then of course had a great career in the NFL with a Super Bowl victory with the Giants, and then went down to the Carolina Panthers. Big Mike Fox. Hey,
Boom.
appreciate you coming on, baby.
Before you hit the Hatfield-McCoy trails, fuel up the way West Virginians do at Little General Stores. From trail snacks to cold drinks and the fuel to keep you rolling, we've got everything you need before you head into the hills. We're proud to be part of your ride, rooted in West Virginia and built for the back roads. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.
Hey, and welcome back, everybody. We are now joined by the beer truck, the man, the myth, the legend, Owen Schmidt has now joined us. Unfortunately, Mike is having a little bit of some technical difficulties, but we'll work through those. But Owen, we're really excited to have you on the program with us. How's things been going with you?
Things have been great, man. You know, life is happening fast, like it is for everybody else, and there's a smell in the air. It's football season. Life is
That's
good.
right.
Leaves are starting to change. Weather's starting to change a little bit. So it's football season.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God it's football season, man.
And it's Mountaineer football's back.
Mountaineer football.
Like the
Mountaineer
traditional
football's back.
Mountaineer. Yeah.
Well, we're talking to the guy that knows it from the inside, you know, playing for Coach Rich, you know, back in the day, man, and knowing what that kind of attitude is. You know, just start off with that, Owen. I mean, was it evident? I mean, could you see the change in the way our guys performed? Because that's what Rich was talking about, and you know, before he even started the season, was you will see a different kind of a football team. Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I think just with the tempo, you could see that it was very evident just how fast we were moving on offense. Defense was flying around. Just the basics I noticed. Hey, we're fundamental football. We're playing till the whistle blows. Yeah, there was, you know, we had that 15-yard penalty right off the bat. I actually really laughed my tail off because I remember my first game under Rich, and we were playing Syracuse, and I was in on special teams, and I ended up getting flagged for a 15-yard penalty because I hit the guy out of bounds.
Yeah, but you're so amped up.
I know. That's what I'm
know?
saying. I'll let that one slide because, you know, it's pregame jitters, first game of the season, first time these different color jersey, a lot of emotions going around. There's a lot of hype. And you know, I love the energy. I would have loved to be in the locker room at halftime because I'm sure there was a very good you know, hey, let's get her going, man. But honestly, I mean, if you look at that game as a whole, if we don't have those three turnovers we had?
Yeah.
Early on.
There was four turnovers.
4 fumbles, three actual turnovers.
Yeah. If we want to, you know, ball security is a major issue with Rich. Trust me, that's not something that's been not talked about. The ball security from day one is something that's spoken about, you know, throughout that entire organization. I mean, that's something that even defense definitely talks about, you know, and they talk about it at different levels. But I thought as far as the intensity goes, the atmosphere was absolutely electric. It was a packed house. I'm so thankful everybody showed up to bring in the new era of Rich and the team. And, you know, I think we're going to see, you know, small improvements each week, we just don't want to beat ourselves. And I think that's kind of something he spoke on a little bit in his presser, and we just got to play sound fundamental football. And I know that sounds so basic when you talk about things like that with Rich, but it really is the details. And that's really where the champions and, you know, the cream, he always talks about cream rising to the top, right? So it's all in those details. But overall, very excited and pleased with the effort that I saw on Saturday.
Don't you think, and this goes back to the fumble thing, because like you said, Rich and his staff you ain't putting the program on the ground, and that's what that ball is. That represents Mountaineer football. And we don't want to put it on the ground, but you talk about addressing it. What do you think? What do you think happened in practice on Tuesday? Right? You think right away they were drilling the gunners, man? Were they putting in drills that were going to attack that ball and force those guys to carry it a little tighter, a little higher?
Yeah, I'm sure there was an emphasis on high and tight. They probably, not to be redundant on how to hold a football, but I'm sure they visited that again.
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals, and they're going to go over it again, and they're going to stress it. And I mean, that's going to be a major stress of offense all year long. I'm sure Zach and the defensive core probably talked about, hey, we need to get in there a little bit more and try to strip these balls from these guys and scout teams and such, and just when they're going in team as well, just to kind of put the emphasis on that. But I guarantee, I already know pregame drills or pre-practice drills, especially with the running backs, and Kelvin McGee used to do such a good job at that. But those are part of our everyday drills. And like I said, it's first game. Guys are trying to make plays. Sometimes the little things get lost, and that's what Rich is really good at. Look, thankfully, anytime if you lose 3 turnovers in a game, you're supposed to lose. I mean, your odds go down
100.
tremendously throughout the game as far as averages go, when you lose turnover the football. So thankfully for us, it was on the good end. I know some people complained that we're, playing a tune-up game. And, for me, I was very pleased to kind of see something like this, just because I really, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. You got 70 new guys, 3 months to somehow, get these guys on board,
make them a
what Rich
team.
embodies and what it's about. So it's really insane to think of 3 months ago, 70 new guys. This is our product now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty daggone solid when you think about it, because like you said, I don't care who you're playing. You're playing a D1 football team that plays in the MAC, and they're one of the best in the MAC, if not the best in the MAC. I mean, they gave Rutgers a run for their money, almost come back on them and beat them. So we got things that are going to happen here coming up real fast. Yeah. But to take that Robert Morris game and look at it, like you said, if you're minus on a turnover board, your odds drop tremendously. So for us to be able to, be a little sloppy in the first half, not too bad. I mean, we did some good things, but then we come in the second half, and it was an improved football team. We tightened up. We did the things we were supposed to do. We got some other guys in the game. We showed the kind of football team that we could potentially develop into, but it allows you expose a lot of things real fast, and you're able to, as a coach, in a blowout, it's sometimes difficult to nitpick it enough to get enough learning out of it for the next game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that it gave us a chance, Rich and his group, to analyze and then come in there and say, hey, this is where we need to really improve really fast. Like right now today, 9 penalties. We can't have, the holds. I remember on the Pat McAfee show, he called them traitors. If you're lazy and you're holding and all that stuff, and jumping off sides is pure mental. That's watching the ball, or that's listening to the cadence and being laser focused all the time. You don't have a split second to think about, what you're going to do later on. It's got to be right here, right now. And that's the other thing that I appreciate about Rich and listening to him, the way he talks. It ain't nothing more than what happens next. Learn from what happened, but it's what happens next. It's the next practice. It's the next play. It's the next game. It ain't got nothing to do with anything more than right now. And man, that's how you develop that laser focus.
Yeah. And when was the last time we actually beat a team by 6 touchdowns? Honestly, that you guys can remember, especially over the last 6 years.
It's been a minute.
But over the last 10, 12 years, I don't remember like a beat down like what we did, You know, you think about the Orange Bowl when we beat down on Clemson, which was just amazing too. That was a good one. Beating up on Oklahoma in 2007, like just taking them to the woodshed. You know, that's the kind of Mountaineer football where it's like, yes, you better again put a little bit more air in those helmets, put a little bit more tape on, right? Because the Mountaineer football is back, and that's the hard edge that he is putting out there, and people is going to wake up because. You know, Pat talks about, oh, they're going to get them dogs. Yes, we are. We're getting the dogs are back. And then I love it too because, you know, we had Kevin Johnston on here from the Varsity Club last week because we're talking about reaching out to guys like you to actually come in and talk to these guys, inspire these guys, show them what Mountaineer football is all about, being part of the program. That's how you build a program. That's how you build culture. You have family around that has bled and been out there on the field and know what it takes to mean what Mountaineer football is. So we need guys like you talking on here and showing these guys this is what it's going to take to get us back to prominence.
Well, to piggyback that, now you have a leader and you've got guys on staff that are Mountaineer elite that have been part of the program that are now able to, again, every day, you know, reiterate the fact that, hey, Mountaineer football is for all Mountaineers. You know, this don't say WVU, it says WV. It represents West Virginia. You know, he's got a Mountaineer hat on there, but it's the state of West Virginia. We represent. Right. His hat says West Virginia, right? That's a different animal, and our guys need to understand that. And I think on Saturday with a big win at home against another football team at home, the fans got to see something pretty special, but more importantly, those players got to experience something really special. They got a taste. You know what it's going to taste like when you go on the road and beat Ohio on their home turf, and you're going to take their best shot. Get ready, because this is their Super Bowl, and then you come back home to you're 2-0 against Pitt, and they're going to be 2-0, and it gives me goosebumps. But see, that's where we want to be, man. That's where we want to be. We're perched right there. But we've got Mountaineer football is truly back because it's being led by a freaking Mountaineer. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's special. And I'll continue to say it. The second chance redemption motivation, man, just, you know, Rich talks about the program and he talks about the state and he talks about the team. But deep down inside, he's got to look in the mirror every night. And that's man, I'm so excited. Like I said, I saw his face before. And then when they played Country Roads and that camera got on him and I saw his eyes well up, I got welled up eyes right now. When I saw that emotion, mother son of a pup, that just, God, that makes me, that's so exciting to see because it matters, man. It matters.
It's the pride.
It matters.
It's the pride.
You know, and you can go back to when that happened with Rich and all, and you know, people make business decisions, and you know, coming back and seeing the program really where he just wanted to be and getting this second opportunity. I have no doubt in my mind, it's not like something that he wanted to leave and go away to, you know what I'm saying? So I know he's excited to be back. You don't get second chances like this really ever in your life to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially to your alma mater in a new landscape for everybody in college football where it's changing every day. And now, you know, you have that realm of people that want to talk about, hey, well, Rich might be a little too hard for these kids. Let me tell you something. If you want to be a competitor, you're going to come to West Virginia based on the sole fact that guy is going to coach you as hard as he can physically coach you. And he is going to make you the best player you can physically be as long as you're willing to buy in. Okay. You know, Travis Trickett said it's so funny. Yeah. Travis is like, look, man, 90% of playing for Rich is hell. It's hell. But the 10%, the games on Saturday, the wins, you don't, it all fades away, dude, because that's what it's all about. And Joe's, you hit it on the head. These players got to see a home football game packed to the gills, fans involved, rocking the entire time. I mean, I know it filtered out like towards the end of the game. I mean, that's to be expected. But to be honest, in the past, this would have been a half filled up game at halftime, or if we were up by 20 anyways, people would have started filtering out. It was amazing to see, and I hope those kids understand that's what makes this place that special. That's what makes, and I know it's different with the landscape, you're getting paid now and stuff like that, but in my opinion, if you truly value friendship and family, you can't get that anywhere else. And I'll even be honest with you with this confession. When I was fortunate enough to get drafted and go into the NFL and play, I was always hoping and searching that's what I would find. You know what I mean? I was hoping I was going to find a place like West Virginia where Rich and them were, and where everybody just felt like we were a tight knit group, right? And everybody was together. I got a little taste of that under Andy Reid, honestly. It's just such a special place, and I'm excited for these young kids. And another thing I could probably point out is when practices are hard. They're mentally hard. Then you got school, right? And then you got season come up. You're being coached to the fullest. It's like, if you've never experienced this, it's going to seem crazy as hell. It is. It's going to seem crazy. But when you buy in and then you start seeing the wins stack, right? Hey, they just and then as a player, your confidence, once you get an athlete that's trained to the max, and then he starts getting his confidence. Oh man, look out, because that's when it gets scary.
Yeah, and part of the reason I think that you were such a fan favorite, we always talk about the blue collar here in West Virginia, right? We're coal miners, we're a lace your bootstraps up kind of state, and you just came in and embodied that, and just seeing your power, just running people over. I mean, that ignited our fan base, right? I remember you, Pat, and Steve on the cover. Like, I still have that cover of Sports Illustrated, and I have all your signatures on it. It's here in my basement, right? Like, that kind of passion, that's what I want to have back. I don't remember having that for the past, I don't know how many years, knowing that every time we stepped on the field, when you guys stepped on the field, I expected us to win. I expected us to win. And I hadn't had that feeling since back in, the 88 and 93 seasons, whenever we were doing that. It had been a long time. And I hate that it's having to go 20 years before all of a sudden now we're seeing success. And then another 20 years. But I tell you what, with this being back, with you guys being back, and even having the guys on staff, you were talking about Travis. He's my neighbor. He's a great guy. He's always right there with Rich. He's getting the earful, managing a lot of that kind of stuff. But the excitement is definitely there, and I think that we're going to have players start to emerge and be those players, like the Bruce Irvings, like like Pat White and Slayton. Like, I want to have instead of having these jerseys where it's just, hey, that's the 2026 season, so the Mountaineer jersey is 26. Yeah. I want to have the numbers back. People still buying your guys' numbers because of who you were and what you guys did. So you think about that and the impact that has. I told my story last year. The first game I ever came to was in 1987. I went home and I wrote a number 9 on my Pee Wee jersey because I wanted to be Major Harris, So, but this inspires kids. It inspires people. And I just wanted to, since you're on here, say thank you for what you've done to inspire the kids and the people here in the state as well. So.
Oh man, I really appreciate it. And to go along with your story, I took my family. This was their first Mountaineer game, so I took the 3 boys and the little one, Aniston, and they absolutely loved it. The twins, Yeah, Grant Garrett. They seen these guys walking around with no shirts on and the pinstriped blue and yellow coveralls. They're like, dude, we want a pair of those. And then they saw the jerseys and they're like, we need a jersey too. Like, and now they're like so amped up for football. They're like, when can we come back? Like, when's the next home game? And I'm like, all right, dude, let's go. You know,
they're hooked.
They're see the crowded pit. It's going to be nuts. Everybody's calling us, hey, do you have extra tickets? No, I haven't had extra tickets for 6 months. What are you talking about? This is going to be the most anticipated game there is. And ironically, it's on 9-13, which was the score on that one. So, like, there's all these weird universal things, and it's just going to be electric. I cannot wait.
Yeah, well, let's worry about Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely.
One game at a time.
Let's worry about Ohio. You know, and you talked about Owen and Steve and Pat. One of the.
Can anybody hear me yet?
Holy crap, we can hear you. Hey, but you talk. Well, hold on, Mike. You talk about them three dudes.
Can you now?
Yes. Your lips aren't moving, but we can hear you.
It's a little bit delayed. It's like one of those old Asian films.
Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, you're talking about that threesome right there. All right. But I gotta be, you know, you got two linemen here. You got an O lineman and a D lineman in a screen. And the beer truck, he did a lot of things running over guys, but he had to get past the line of scrimmage first. And let me tell you, his group of guys up front and the O lines that I got to play on and the D lines Mike got to play on, you know, it was fun to see, you know, a Rich Rod football offense because it is run. You got to be able to run the rock. You got to be able to run the rock. And to do that, you know, we got a rebuilt offensive line. It's all brand new faces up there, you know. So for them, you know, that team within a team, the coordination between schemes and making adjustments and communication and making sure everybody's on the same page and focusing on a snap count. You got all kinds of stuff going on. You know, they did a pretty daggone solid job this past Saturday, but you'll see improvement in that group each and every week. They'll get a little bit better. And as they get a little bit better, it provides everything else, the running lanes for the backs. It provides the protection needed for the quarterback to make his decisions. And we got a slew of those guys, which is nice to see because we asked them to do a lot of running. So their bodies are going to take punishment. But when I can put a second or third team guy in there and not miss a beat, we're going to be in good shape. But it starts up front. And on the defensive side, Mike, our top tackler was a middle backer, inside backer. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? If your number one tackler is a safety, which Robert Morris's number one tackler was their free safety. All right. On our team, our number one tackler was that inside backer. What's that tell you about the front?
The front definitely did their job. You know, they probably they look really good and they're pretty deep as far as I'm concerned. So they got penetration and they got push. They did everything they were supposed to do. And the linebackers came in and cleaned up and made the play. So, I mean, that's probably the best I've seen them come out first of the year.
They were
in a while.
I mean, that's, you know, again, we're back to tempo and the way we practice and all, but that's the one thing you could see really evident. Yeah, the push. And we were doing things. I mean, we had I think we had 4 sacks and 4 or 5 tackle for losses. So we had 10 or 11 behind the line of scrimmage plays on defense. That means you're bringing it. That means you're coming. And it also means that your DBs, which we haven't seen good defensive back play here. I wish we had one of the DBs that join us, you know, that listen to an Aaron Beasley or a Mike Collins talk about it. But our DBs actually look like some DBs out there playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw some
Absolutely.
contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I mean, that frees up the box. I don't think we showed a whole lot. I didn't think we really had to. We just let them play. But man, the movement and the getting to the ball and then hustling back and getting ready to go. We're back to that tempo thing on defense, man. That's huge. Go ahead.
Yeah, they didn't give up long. They didn't give up long third downs. Their defense backs played really good, and it looked like they understood man to man a little bit better this year. So hopefully they can continue that. So it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will.
Yeah. It seemed like before we would always be soft. Like we'd be like 3rd and 17 and we'd go to a cushion, right? And then they would just get right in the zone, get it, and then get a first down. Like we have them to get them off the field, right? Like go bang them up, bang them at the line.
Consistent, yeah.
Well,
and I'll say this too.
Yeah, the D line got after him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the caliber of coaching we have now with Zach and his defensive squad it's above. It's up there. I mean,
well, you got Castile in there, right?
Yeah. They know what's going on. Like they're embodying what Rich is saying about, a practice of Mountaineer football is going to be the most physical, stressful thing you're going to go through as a player. And the whole method to the madness is that on Saturday, we've given you every look. We've given you every situation. Go have fun.
Let's go have fun. Yeah, I said that.
That's exactly what you said earlier, Joe.
That's exactly what I said verbatim. No script. There ain't no script with this stuff right here.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of script, I am glad. So last week we talked about Rich Rod saying that we're probably going to see a bunch of quarterbacks. He said he had 5, and I'd mentioned Scotty Fox, which thank God for Scotty Fox. I actually took the Mountaineers at the 40.5 over. So whenever he went scampering down that, I was like, money, baby. That's my money. And it's good to win money on the Mountaineers again. I'll tell you what, especially winning over 6 touchdowns. So, but again, seeing the talent that we have, that's out there already, and what we have as backups and what the future of Mountaineer football is already looking like. And like you said, it's only been 3 months that we got, it was close to 80 people in, and to make them be cohesive and form a team, but to actually see that talent coming back, and it's going to flood in because what brings in talent? Wins. Right? They want to be a part of a winning program. So you get a winning program, and I understand the money and everything, and some of them are going to want this money, but they also want to be on a winning team and play for a winning coach, right? Because they need to get up to that next level. And a lot of the people that are there and on staff and guys like you that have been in an NFL that's going to be around the program can tell them you need to be doing X, Y, Z, and this is what's going to get you there. So that's where the varsity club is going to come into play and other things. So it's, again, this is more excitement than I've seen in 10, 12 years.
Yeah. And you, like to your point too, if you want dollar bills as a player, buddy, you need to get in the playoff. Yeah, you need to play as much football as you possibly can. And hopefully there's retention for us at the end of the season. I know that's looking way ahead. I'm not even really worried about
you hit the nail
much.
On the head.
You know what I mean?
The retention, okay? I shouldn't have to recruit my locker room every day. They should want to be here because they know what you said earlier, Owen, about the good players and the great players want coached. I want coached because I want to make it to the next level. I want to have that opportunity after my time to make sure I can get there. And when you build a staff that can produce like that, I don't want to leave. I want to stay. Yeah. And the money, the money and all that, everybody's talking about that, but it's still the love of the game. It's still the willingness to put what's necessary into it to get those wins on Saturday and Sunday and whenever, so there's a lot more to that than just the dollar signs. And the really good players aren't looking at dollar signs. They're looking at dollar signs in the evening when they go home and they do their business. When they're in their day, they're worried about one thing. How can I get better today to make sure that on Saturday I'm having fun, like Owen said? I want to have fun. And winning's fun. Losing sucks. Losing's for losers. And if you like to lose, get the hell out of the locker room. All right? We don't want that kind of. And we don't have that. I really don't, because that's the beauty of what happened. He got rid of all the guys that he didn't think could play for Rich Rodriguez. He kept the ones that could. And he went out and he found guys and he recruited guys into the program that wanted to be part of a Rich Rod coached football team. And that's a kind of cool place to be, actually, where you can go out and find guys that fit. Now you got to take and fit the pieces now, from daily evaluation and take the guys that you have here now. But when you look at them on the hoof, it's a different looking football team than it's been the last 5 or 6 years. All right. You look at them and these guys got freaking hamstrings and big butts and friggin' chests and freaking triceps hanging out of the meat, man. I mean, they look like a football team.
Yeah. There was just one player that I wish we would have been able to talk to more and keep, and that's Josiah Trotter. If we could have kept Trotter, I mean, I was okay. CJ Donaldson being gone like the very next day to Ohio State and just checked in. I was okay with that. Yeah. But Trotter,
Felicia.
Man, I wish we could have kept Trotter.
Sorry,
what? Mike, you were going to say something, Mike?
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. All right. if you don't want to be here, leave. And you did. Goodbye. Go do something else. I don't care. Yeah. CJ Donaldson. Look at him. He had a big game at Ohio State. Good for him. I don't care. I care about us.
Yeah.
I care about what we got right here, now.
I mean, go, Rick. The bottom line of all the bottom lines is you have to every program needs to be able to receive a player and make them.
Oh yeah. Sure. Kind of like a franchise tag or being able to keep a player. Well, and I know they're working on all that, especially with the revenue sharing and.
Well, it's got to be contract.
Yeah, it's got to be contract, like at least 2 years.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. We heard you, and then we lost you.
Yeah. I think his internet is just
I think it could be
today.
I think he's working on dial-up.
Something like
DSL. Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, listen real quick.
What they need to do is call it what it is, okay? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go. Keep talking.
I don't have dial-up.
Oh.
Yeah. It almost seems like he's 20 seconds behind on what he's able to hear from us.
I don't do technology. Okay. I don't do technology, man. So I can't help. I
can you hear me now?
Yeah. I'll send some. I'll send some of our guys from Trilogy Innovation.
I think you got different things going on here.
See, I'm hearing that. I love it. Hey, real quick. Hey, Owen. Hey, tell everybody real quick. One of the side things you got going.
One goes this way, the other goes that way.
Oh yeah, some of the side things you got going on right now, Owen.
Well,
some of your products and stuff.
Yeah, man, he's got.
Well, we didn't have no problems last time.
Finally, he got his own beer. All right.
Yeah.
The
so
beer truck.
Things
Come on, real quick, share it with us.
Yeah, I'm doing so right now. I got with co-formulated a beverage with a brew with Berkeley Springs Brewing, based out of West Virginia. And they had come out a couple years ago with a product called Runway Beer Truck. So I reached out to them. We reformulated the recipe for the beer, and we just dropped it this July. So it's just fresh off the market. It's a great. We had it at Joe's 35th, correct, Joe's 35th.
Yes,
Joe's Knows Kids event to benefit WVU Children's Hospital. Which was awesome. I'm very thankful that you guys let us bring it there. People enjoyed it. I'll be at the tailgates in the Peach Lot. Every home game, I'll have, obviously a cold cooler full of that beer as well if you want to come out and try it out. It's also slowed in some select areas in Morgantown. And Gucci Kroger, Suncrest Kroger. for the where if you want to go buy it, and then a few places just to name: Tropics, Mountain Mamas, OG Fishbowl is going to have it on draft for the pit game as well. So that's kind of going on. I also have, side deal with a different podcast, In the Gun podcast, with Jed Drennan and Wes Euler, that we go, and that's a mountaineer, basically, madness of Jed Drennan, who's an absolute wizard. With
great
facts.
podcast.
I mean, just knows
Great
everything,
podcast.
all the history, knows the game, the X's and O's. Played under Coach Rod at Glenville in his getting started days, and now obviously that's the appeal. It's crazy to think. Jed and I laugh all the time. It's crazy that Rich is back now, and we're talking about him again. So that's awesome and amazing, and that's going great. So, and then I'm doing some little barbecue hustle on the side as well, and cooking some good smoked meats and doing catering and some weddings on the side. So things are good. It's crazy. I did step down from coaching this year just because I have a lot of stuff going on. My kids are getting older, and I want to be able to make sure I'm there for them. And honestly, a lot of these sports anyways, I'm a very competitive person. So I in my opinion, and I will toot my own horn on this, I am a good coaching dad at home. Right at home. So we do a lot of stuff at home. And when they get into it, I kind of let them, you got to be passionate about sports. And that's something, it's just different nowadays with children. Back in the day, our Nintendos and Wii's and all that stuff, those were our baseballs and our footballs and our basketballs. Right. Those were the things we played with. So just enjoying doing that, man, and enjoying life. And obviously football is so great because I get to hang out with Joe's and run around with that rowdy crew and have a good time. So I'll be doing the Legends tour as well with them, select locations when they want me to have, because I know they don't always need golf partners. I know they don't want me to show them up and stuff. So
hey, you got to bring the beer, brother.
Exactly.
Hey, let me tell you. And I'm a beer guy. I love my beers, but it's a beer, and it's got a little like a lime infusion, and it's a and again, like if you drop you put a lime in like a Corona.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. But this right here, this ain't a Corona beer. This is like a lager type beer, and when you hit it with that lime, it's pretty daggone tasty. On top of the fact, that daggone can, that's a collector's item right there.
I
mean, the beer truck can.
Again.
I mean, that's so cool.
Show this again.
Yeah,
look at that.
The cans are so cool because, obviously we have control over the labeling. So like next year, I'll have another picture of a different label, so like people can actually collect all the different cans and labels. So it'll be pretty neat to see the series once it plays out.
That's really cool.
Hey, are you gonna have one? You gotta have one smashing the helmet into your head.
Oh yeah, well,
with blood. Oh man, I love that.
Yeah, we got some good ones coming out.
Hey, which reminds me, did I see your big mug up on the freaking video screen at the game?
Yep.
What the hell? I saw that. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? I mean, that is so, are they going to do that every game?
Yeah. So Chris O and Sean Mariner, they had reached out to me. They're with the video production crew. They had reached out to me before the season, a couple weeks before, and asked me if I would be into doing that. And I said, absolutely, hell yeah. I mean, coach is coming back. Like I'm all in, bro. Trust me. So, absolutely. So we did a couple things, and they had the lines already made out, and I did my best to bring the energy, and hopefully that gets people fired up for the games. I know it was funny. That was a big reason why I wanted to bring the family, because I said, I did something cool. Hopefully they play it before the games, and so, after the team ran out and everything, and then they ended up showing that video, it was cool. The kids were like super into it. I even had people around me were like, I think that guy's sitting behind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, it was a perfect kickoff to that game like that. Got those guys juiced up. man,
I'm telling you, he means a lot to the people in this state. Like
well,
just because the recent,
But Owen's part of the beginning of the country roads, singing country roads,
Yeah.
right? That was the Rich era. That was you guys
2002. Yeah.
that started that, and to still have that going on today, man, is it's a real tribute that it kept going, and it's become one of the top traditions in college football now. But to now truly have the artist of that created that moment is back at the helm, man. It's exciting. It's exciting.
Oh, man,
well, yeah, go ahead.
like you were saying earlier, when Country Road started to play, and how Coach Rod was kind of getting a little welled up. Like, as I was swaying back and forth, holding on to the kids and the family, I was overwhelmed with emotion, just thinking, man, this is such a special thing. And I feel like I've gotten to obviously embody every aspect of it, but for fans to just join in and have the same passion that we all do for the game and for this university, for the team, it was very special, and I'm definitely looking at more of those events.
So the right after the Oklahoma game when they interviewed you, man, that still pulls on my heartstrings. Like the greatest state in the country, like being a Mountaineer. I mean, look at me, I'm getting emotional now. But and that itself is really what makes it family, right? And then everybody all got behind you because of that, because they saw the passion that you had for it. Because, like Joe said, it's not just WVU, it's West Virginia, and that's what it encompasses. So again, thank you for that. And for that moment, like that was the most rawest moment on TV, because usually it's like all these people just talking about, well, yeah, I wanted to do good, but no, for you, it was like these fans and everything, like that just meant so much.
It does.
You guys did. You guys are the heart and soul for sure. I mean, there would be no us without with the fans. So, and like I said, I'm so proud and happy and excited that everybody showed up and showed out, because the team needs that. When I went to Seattle, the 12th man, it's a real thing, and like to have a fan base behind you, they really can help out in critical situations when we need you guys the most. So absolutely. And like I said, again, kudos to you guys. I appreciate all the support everybody's brought out, because that's going to help us win this year.
Hey, and you know what else too? What a great move they made with reconstructing and reconfiguring the student section and allowing them to get down into that bottom level and fill that bottom level, because the upper level is wonderful, but you can't really hear that. That's up there. The lower level is where you get the energy and when you get the sound. And man, when I heard that "Let's Go Mountaineers" going on, my God.
Yeah.
Just want to look at me. Come out of my skin. Look at that.
Like, I'm not trying to get by Ohio. Like, we'll focus on Ohio and everything, but they're going to be playing Sweet Caroline. It's going to be so loud on TV when they play Sweet Caroline, because they'll come back from the broadcast and you're going to hear it plain as day. And I don't care if you're 2 months old or 92 years old. Everybody's going to be chanting it on game day here in 2 weeks. So
I can tell you this: when we were down in St. Albans for the Mountaineer Main Street, right, we're sitting there signing autographs, and I got this little kid walks up and he goes, "Hey man, would you sign my shirt?" And I said, "What do you want me to write?" He said, "Write, eat shit pit." And I said, "Are you allowed to say that?" And his old man was standing right there, and he goes, "Hey, that's the only time he's allowed to cuss." Right there. I said, give me that shirt, kid.
Yeah.
All right. But hey, listen, we that's going to be a great environment. But what do we got to do? I mean, this is a tough situation, because we're going to walk into a hornet's nest. All right. Yeah. Seriously. I mean, Ohio, they got a new coach, but they got the coordinators are the same. A lot of the guys are the same. they got something going on. They got a hell of a quarterback going on over there. They really got a solid program. I mean, they gave the MAC a run last year. They gave Rutgers. They almost come back and beat Rutgers. I mean, I think it was like 34-31 or something. So they got talent, and we got to go there into that small environment. What do they hold? About 40,000 in their stadium. But we got to go there. We got to go to their house. And I mean, what are you guys thinking? I mean, I heard Rich. I heard what he had to say, keeping it real and keeping it focused and keeping it, it can't be what they call a trap game, where you're thinking ahead, you get hit in the mouth.
It is a trap game. It is a trap game.
Well, I mean, so what's got to happen this week?
Well, the offense needs to, take advantage of that porous defense. I think they're going to be able to run the ball well against Ohio. So this might be a good day for you big uglies down there to knock some people off the ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the other thing is West Virginia kind of owes them. They got beat by Ohio in a bowl game last season. So from what my understanding is, so we kind of owe them. I know there's 70 different players on each team, but, West Virginia didn't beat them in a bowl game. So there's some guys left on the West Virginia team that probably still feel that sting. And the other thing is, hey, Rich opened up with Ohio University 17 or 18 years ago. So, I mean, there's a little bit of history here. So he's going to open up against somebody he started with when he started his first West Virginia stint. So I think that there'll be some good play in. I think West Virginia will win in the end, but it's a trap game. Don't be fooled by it. Those kids are going to be ready to play. So
yeah, and I worry. The spread being 3.5. Vegas usually knows what they're doing when they set these spreads, because I know a lot of people, especially after what we put up points wise, because they didn't watch the game. They're just going to see the point totals. So they're going to be like, oh, West Virginia should kill them. Right. And those are the type of games that always worries me, because it's always ends up being really close. But I think that, again, to your point, as long as we're protecting the ball, I know some of the reasons why we lost those fumbles, they would be running down the field with it in their right arm, and it should be in the left, closest to the sidelines. So we talked about it, doing the X's and O's things. It comes down to fundamentals, right? Catch the ball, tuck it, and put it away. Make sure it's on the sideline side. Make sure you're doing what you got to protect it. Listen to the cadence. Pay attention to what you're doing. I know that you're out there and you're running and you're exhausted because it's one play after the next. But I think that, hopefully we can wear them down with our offense, just beating on them, especially if we are going to be running the ball a lot, right? But we do have the ability to air the ball out some too. So I think that we'll probably see, hopefully, a couple more quarterbacks again if we're able to get a little bit ahead. And then they're just going to ground and pound is what I'm guessing for this week. What do you think, Owen?
Well, like Mike said, we gotta establish the run early, right? We gotta be physical. Obviously, I feel like our tempo is something that's unmatched. So unless Ohio's keeping up with that, they might struggle with that. But this is a business trip, and it's nothing. No game is ever to be taken lightly, right? No game is ever to be taken lightly. And if there's anybody who's gonna put you in that situation to the point where and let you know that's what's going on, it's going to be Rich. They're going to be laser focused. We talked about the ball security this week. That's going to be a point of emphasis. But establishing the run, Cam Vaughn, getting him into the game. It looked like Rutgers had some success through the air as well. So getting him involved and some of those other guys on the outside as well. Like you said, Mike, getting the push. All right, if we win, like I said, I hate saying this all the time, but this is just what football is. If we dominate the line of scrimmage, there should be no reason that this should be a ball game, right? So we need to dominate up front. We got to clear up those mistakes. We gotta eliminate the false starts, right? Just like you said, the fundamentals. We got to be good at that stuff. We have to start stacking those Look, we had 9 or whatever. We had 7 or 9. The first game. We gotta have 5 or less. I mean, we got to start pushing ourselves to the point where we want to play perfect football, and that doesn't have to be obviously no penalties. That just has to be, look, we have to play in the realm of the game, inside the box, between the lines, between the whistles. We have to play a Mountaineer football. And I think if we can do that and establish that, and Zach and those guys really bottle that quarterback up, because I know he's going to be an issue for Ohio. If we can do that, get the pressure on him, this should be business as usual for the Mountaineers.
Yeah.
But hey, we're going into a smaller stadium, right? It's going to be packed. It's going to be packed. The crowd's going to be rocking there. I mean, it's sold out game.
Yeah. And it is a border battle. So anytime that we can go into Ohio as a West Virginian and whip them, I don't care what part of Ohio, it's a win for us,
Yep.
So I think our people's going to travel because, again, we're not going to Iowa now, right?
Yeah.
It's sold. We sold our allocation of tickets.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good group there. There's no doubt about that. And we're going to go into it's going to be a wild environment for a small environment. It's going to be a big. This is their. It's like for us. Playing a Penn State or playing a top 5 football team. This is a big opportunity for them to put their thumbprint on it and say, hey man, we're as good as them, kind of thing, but as an offensive guy, and you guys already hit it, you got to establish the line of scrimmage, obviously, and you got to be able to run the football and all that. But this game really is going to be resting, in my opinion, on the defense's shoulders, because this quarterback is legit. When you hear Rich Rodriguez, Rich just doesn't say this for giggles. He says this is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, in his opinion. I think he can evaluate quarterbacks pretty good. All right. So I look at this and say, hey, as a defensive box, like that defensive front, that box, we got to do a great job. And the backfield, they got to have confidence in the box, stopping the run and stopping that quarterback, and allow me, because if I come off coverage, this guy's going to eat your ass. He dumped 240 on Rutgers, and if you watch it happened because Rutgers came off of coverage because he was moving around, and if he's moving around, I mean, I've never been a DB. I don't even know what that is. I can't even imagine, because my eyes get distracted real easy. And if I'm a DB and I see a guy running with a football, my instinct is going to come up and bust him in the face. But you know what? If he ain't across the line of scrimmage and I come off coverage, he's going to find that guy and he's going to toast our ass. And I think that's a big change in what we've seen in years past. We got beat deep a lot. We gave up a lot of big explosive plays because our DBs lost coverage. And I think that we've got a box now that we can become more and more confident in, of those guys getting the heat and containing that quarterback a little bit, and getting some coverage sacks, getting some coverage force, making him go ahead, run the football, because we're going to put 5 hats on your ass. All right. So we're going to beat you up. You want to run the ball? We're going to beat you up. Okay. So that's got to be our mentality. And I saw that last week, which was really fun to watch, was the hats to the ball, the hats to the ball. First guy gets in there. No. They did, right?
They definitely, that was the best I've seen them look in a long time. So I was proud to be a Mountaineer last week. So
amen.
Yeah, hats to the ball, run to the ball, hustle, hustle, hustle. You don't know what you're going to make happen. That guy at Ohio, he's an option quarterback, and he's a runner and a thrower, and he's good at both. So it's going to be a good test for our defense as well. But I think the defense will come through. I think that the offense should be able to get some push on their defense, because their defensive line is a little porous from what I see. And then the other thing is we got to win the special teams battle. There's the third that you got to win. If you don't win that, you're really putting yourself at risk to not, hitting on all cylinders. So, last week offense woke up in the second half and they put over 500 yards of offense, which is impressive for just a half of football. So let's just see what we can do this week. But I think our offensive line could dominate their defensive line. I think our defense will dominate their offensive line, and they got to get to that quarterback. He is deadly. So, I mean, that's where it's at.
Mike, you bring up special teams. Rutgers had a block punt against Ohio. Okay. So, and it was it wasn't like they were backed up. I mean, they were on like maybe the 30, 35-yard line, and they came after them a little bit and got that block punt. So, yeah, man, special teams are game changers. Special teams change momentum like this. I mean, I was just my son's a head football coach at Clearwater High School, and I was at a great football game last week. And, they're in a battle. They're down the field, back and forth. And their team got a nice little drive and scored a touchdown, and they kicked off to us, and we ran it back for a touchdown. And you want to talk about just
deflating.
Just the deflation. You could just feel it. All of a sudden they went from and it's like, woo. So we got to be able to, and I'm with you, Mike. We sometimes forget about special teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a business. It's a third, and a third. The offense has got to do their job a third. The defense has got to do their job a third. The special teams have got to do their job a third. And guess what? Somewhere in between all that stuff, you can pull out a profit, which equals a win. And if you don't do that, it's not a good day. That's just the bottom line. You got to squeeze it all out.
I know Aaron Beasley isn't on this week, but I think that, when you have a mobile quarterback like that, one of the things that slows down, bring the wood, right? If he comes, you bring a cornerback off the edge, smack him down a couple times. Yep. Somebody like a Carl Joseph come out and blow him up. Guess what? He's not going to be running out there and dancing around so much if you come and lay the wood on him a couple times. So
that comes down to responsibility. Somebody's got the pitch man, somebody's got the quarterback, and someone's got the other guy that you're blocking. And if you don't, the rule of thumb is, at least on defense, when I did it, you hit them all at all costs. You knock them all out. You make sure there is no option. You hit all three of them.
That's right. You hit all three of them.
Knock them all out. Then there is no option. And that option could be laying on the ground someplace, and our defender can pick it up and maybe scoop and score, So that's the bottom line. So hit them all. Never let another colored jersey cross your face without hitting it. That's always hit another colored jersey. So that's it.
And that's
how you win.
We got that quarterback right there, like you said. We got to put a knot on him. We got to harass him. We can't let him RPO us and pick us apart. We got to get him off his timing, and that's twofold. That's number one, getting in his face a little bit, making him know. Even if you don't hit him, even if you don't get a sack, he's got to know you're right there next to him. Oh my God, he was right there.
Yeah.
And those DBs, they can't allow those guys out there to just free release all the time and run all over the place. They got to cause some junction and disrupt the route just a little bit, just enough, because how much is it? Timing routes, guy's going to be where he's supposed to be, and I throw it there. But if he's not there and I can't throw it, now I got to pull it down and go to my second and third read. That gives my box time.
Yeah,
right.
You just want to stay on schedule.
Yep.
Yeah. They'll definitely. I think they'll get enough push to cause a problem for him to get disruption in this game. So the biggest thing is once you do that, put him on the ground as fast as you can.
You got to. I saw they throw the ball some big tight ends they got. They dish it out there. I mean, he threw for 240. He rushed for another 100. That's the thing is he's got wheels. Now, does he have a backup that has wheels? That I don't know. But like we do, I mean, we proved that. We proved that on Saturday.
We had
got
3
guys,
or 4.
what's Rich say? they have a willingness to run. Man, I love that comment. We have a willingness to run. We don't necessarily have to run because we got guys to hand it off to, and we got quick throws in the run pass option stuff. But at the end of the day, that quarterback can run the football, and he's willing to run the football. And if he gets hurt, guess what? Number 2 goes in. Number 3, I mean, we got that's a man. We ain't been in that position in a while. We were in that position last year, but we didn't exploit it like we should have. This year, we've got coaches. I mean, how would you like to be coached by, Rhett Rodriguez, Rich Rodriguez, and Pat White?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what the heck?
For running quarterback.
It always helps. It always helps.
What?
When you got skilled, petite skills.
Right? I mean, daggone, man. Pat White, I mean, he was the best at running Rich's offense. And I don't think his offense has evolved a whole lot. I mean, I'm sure there's little wrinkles and there's little changes based on what defenses do now with some of the exotic stuff that they like to move around and bring guys and all that. But at the end of the day, the other thing I really like hearing him say, when I was with the Chiefs, we had offensive coordinators that would always use the KISS term, keep it simple, stupid. And when we would go into a game, we had 5 runs and 6 passes. 5 runs and 6 passes. That was our game plan. All right. It wasn't all this, you don't want to have a whole Britannica series on plays and you gotta find what you're doing best against what they're playing and go in there and execute your stuff. There's a lot of window dressing and there's a lot of, formations and motions and shifts and all that crap. But at the end of the day, we're going to run 5 runs and 6 different plays in the passing game. And when we can do that and we do it really well, man, that's tough to beat. And I heard that in one of his last press conferences talking about that, and keeping that. I'm not going to add to my game plan. I'm going to hone my game plan accordingly. And that's exciting. I think we need to. Yeah.
Joe's to add on that. I mean, that's really the method to the madness. It's look, you have these high level athletes on one hand, right? And then you have the way the mind processes information. Do I want my players to react, or do I want my players to think? And Rich's whole philosophy is, I want reactions. Right? Yeah. Reactions are quicker than thought processes. So, like you said, keep it simple, stupid, and let your players play. Fine tune what you got going on, right? And let them be able to just let loose and play fast. And that's ultimately when you're going to see some special stuff happen.
That's beautiful. Well said. Well said. You take the thought process out and you just play. And you've done it so many times that you've created environments in practice that make you uncomfortable, that puts you in all those possibilities. So when I get into that game on Saturday, I'm just kicking ass and having fun, man. Yeah. And that's where it gets really exciting. I know for me personally, when I got into a game and we're moving the ball and I'm wearing the guy out in front of me and we're doing all those things, man. It makes it so much fun. But then too is what makes it fun is when you got your guys and you face some adversity, you face some bad things that happen, which are going to happen. All right. I remember Coach Nealon preaching to us all the time. Fellas, there's about 5 plays that determine the outcome of any given football game, and you never know when they're coming. You just don't know when they're coming. So you got to make sure you're on your game every play so it doesn't happen on your watch over top of your head. You take care of your business. I take care of the guy next to me's business because he trusts me. He's going to you know what I mean? We're all working together. And man, that's where we're going to be, because there's an evidence. You see it. You know what I'm saying? It's tangible. You see it. It's not just talk. It's the tempo. We've used that word several times. It's what we see visually, right? That these guys are really buying in and playing, and it's exciting. I'm stoked.
And like he said, Rich is going to have him prepared. He's already talked about that. They're trying to call it a trap game, but he's making sure that they're staying focused. And as part of that, I want to make sure that we get a chance real quick to promote where we're going to be next week After this Ohio game, we're going to be doing our next podcast live in Tropics. So, Josie, you want to talk about that real quick? What we got going on there?
Yeah, man. When we come back to Morgantown for the Pitt game, we're going to be up at Tropics from like 4 to 6, doing our live thing there, and then Marshall Lowry's going to come on and play a little bit for the evening. So join us for a live feed next week. We're going to jam it out, and we'll be live coming right there from Tropics in Morgantown. We'll have some good guests, some dudes that are going to be rolling in for the game and get ready to go. And but again, hey man, we gotta beat Ohio, and hopefully we're having this gig next week, and we're talking about a big win, 2-0, and its stage is set, and some really exciting things maybe going on. Obviously, game day in Morgantown against the rival, man. That's going to be an outrageous environment. But again, like us,
I think they were saying that Pat might come and do his show, like his podcast. Again, you know how he did it before the Penn State game? I think they've been talking about that. I'd heard down. It was actually at my bus stop yesterday where people were talking about, like, everybody.
That was just as rowdy.
They want it to happen. What's that?
It all hinges on this weekend, though.
It does. Yeah.
You get down there and piss down your leg and walk away with a loss. All that stuff goes away. That's why you can't look ahead. You got to take care of now. You got to take care of business now. If you look ahead, then all that what if, it ain't happened yet.
Right.
So you better damn sight take care of what you got to take care of right here. Otherwise, it ain't going to happen. Something else will happen, and now you're making excuses. We ain't making excuses no more.
Yeah.
All right.
No
it's
more
all
excuses.
about solutions,
Accountability.
man. It's all about finding. That's the thing that has irked me so much, and we've talked about it. Is you have to not only personally but as a team, you have to find a way to win. You don't find a way to lose. You find a way to win. And
great teams always find a way.
Great teams, they find a way. They step up. Somebody makes a big play. Somebody has to create the momentum. Is it going to be you or me or who? Or are we just going to wait around for it to happen? It ain't going to happen. So it's got to come from within. It's got to come from us and believing in it and hanging in there. And it ain't over till it's over mentality. And that's what I see most. I don't want to see us quit. I don't care what the damn score is. That guy tomorrow morning is going to wake up thinking they were in a car accident when they're playing against me or any one of my Mountaineer Warrior brothers. Period.
That's right.
And that's exciting. And that's exciting because that's what it's going to take. There's going to be games just like last week with Ohio and Rutgers. I mean, it came down to the last, it's 31-34 right there going into the last. Well, it was tie, excuse me. And then they kicked the field goal. But the point is it ain't over till it's over. And if you go up 2 or 3 scores and you rest and you think that's okay, I don't think so. You got to put your heel. You put your heel right there on the Adam's apple and crunch the trachea. All right, that means you end them. You end them. You end them. I'm sorry, but that's the way this game is, and that's the way it's got to be. And that's the thing that we've been whining and complaining about for the last however many years because we didn't see that killer instinct. We didn't see that it ain't over till it's over. We end up losing a game in the last 6 minutes because of we could call it clock management.
Game.
We could call it an in between the ears relax. I don't know. It don't matter. The bottom line is it ain't okay. That ain't okay. And we got a group of guys now that believe that it's not okay. It ain't never going to be okay. Yeah. But you know what? Rich took all the responsibility, didn't he? All right. We fumbled the ball because I didn't build in enough contact drills. All right. We had penalties because this guy, man, let me tell you, I was a teammate. I was in the huddle with Rich. I was a teammate of Rich's. I would have loved to have been coached by him. I would have loved to have played for a Rich Rodriguez coached football team because I know what kind of guy he is and what he brings and what he's surrounded himself with. It's exciting. So, hey, the test. This is the test. This is the first big test right here coming up this weekend. So I'm gonna watch it.
Caught in the trap. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be here in Florida. I'm gonna be eating crab legs, and I'm gonna watch Mountaineer football, baby.
Yeah.
I need some of that. I need some of that Runway Beer Truck cold beer down here.
I know, right? Exactly.
I'll send you some, brother.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Again,
Any last words?
Promote it here.
Any last words? First, I appreciate you guys joining. Mike, the tech stuff is okay, but anytime you offer words of wisdom, brother, it's good stuff because you again, you are a Mountaineer legend, and you got a Super Bowl ring, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, the best part about this game is everybody has the tangible assets, running, lifting, all the measurements that they do speed wise. But there's one more that there's one more that over and above all that is just your attitude to completely try to win and dominate somebody, and just to mentally just keep pounding and pounding and pounding the best way you could beat somebody up. And I tell you what, there's nothing more than the best compliment I ever seen in the years that I played in the NFL was when I had that other guy looking up at that clock waiting for them damn double zeros to come on up. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Everybody can run and lift and this and that, but I want mentality. I want hustle. I want people to just keep crushing ass, man, breaking ass the best way they can. And that's how this game is won and lost, because if they know it's going to be a battle and they didn't pack their lunch, guess what? That Red Bull that you're drinking at halftime is not going to help them. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So that's how I see it.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I started to see this year's team. So it's the mental toughness game, and the more mentally tough they are, and the more IQ they have in the game, and the more bullets that Rich and his staff puts in each one of these guys' gun to teach them to become better players, then I can see this thing really taking off. So that's where I think we're going with it. So let's just keep it rolling and keep the intensity high, because that's where it's at. Out mentally tough the opponent, and never like you said, keep your foot on their throat. So there's no give up. 21 points, 28 points with today's offenses. That ain't nothing anymore. I've seen people come back. So
it can happen.
You can't take your foot off the gas on either side of the ball if you're on, the West Virginia team, because I've seen it happen. It's like, 21 points, 28 points, and all of a sudden stuff happens, and then they took the foot off the gas, or somebody took the foot off of something. But mental intensity and physical domination is the name of that game. So that's why we play football.
That's why we play.
Owen, did you have anything else?
I love it, Mike. I'd say the one thing that stay humble, stay hungry, man.
Yes. Yeah. I still have that video. I actually told my kids that too. Play clean, play hard, play fast. Play clean, play hard, play fast. And because so I'm coaching the Morgantown Youth Mohegans Pee Wee team, and we had won 32-0, and that's the thing is I always say, stay humble and stay hungry. Don't ever get a big head. Just know that you need to do your job. So yeah, I love that mentality from Rich back in the day.
That's awesome. Good. You're teaching those young warriors, because that's the next generation. This is one of the last bastions of warriorness. Okay, is a football field, and what happens on that football field. And everybody can say how the game's evolved and how it's changed, but buddy, it's blocking and tackling, and it's 11 guys trying to move a football across the goal line, and there's 11 guys over there on that turf that says it ain't going to happen. What? Let's go. Hey, I love it. I appreciate you guys being part of this Mountaineer Legends pregame. And hopefully we're going to have a great conversation next week up there in Morgantown on Thursday. And fellas, I love you guys. You're my warrior brothers. And hey, let's go Mountaineers.
Let's go Mountaineers.
Let's go. Thanks,
Mountaineers. Let's go Mountaineers. And hey, Randy, of course, we got a final thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Our friends there at Little General making this thing happen. We appreciate them, what they do in their communities, all the support that they provide, scholarships, Children's Hospital, getting involved in youth leagues, Little General all over the place. Support them because they support us back. They're good people. And of course, my co-host, Mr. Randy Cottle, up there at the Innovations, the Trilogy Innovations Studios, and of course, Trilogy Innovations being part of this. And of course, the great Mike Fox and the Runaway Beer Truck Owen Schmidt. Love you guys. Thank you for being part of this. Non-scripted, just having fun, talking Mountaineer football. And hey, love you. Hey, we'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks.
Love you guys too.
Love you, brother. Later.
Yep.
Before you conquer the rapids, make Little General your first stop. Gear up with the essentials that keep the adventure flowing. From the river to the road, we're proud to fuel West Virginia's wild side. Little General Stores. Fuel your adventure the West Virginia way.